Hey guys, Ron Pascal here, Young Intellectuals, and we're going to be talking about these three concepts, okay? The old man, the YouTube app, and the canola oil Ferrari, right? These are all three important concepts that I want you to understand, and my goal is for you to, when you hear about these things, I want you to immediately change. I immediately want you to see new things, I want you to do new things, I just want you to really grow. But all right, let's talk about the old man. I'm going to talk about a story. There's an old man, right? He was like, look, when I was 20 years old, I thought everybody was looking at me. So I got all these cars, I got all these jewelry, and I thought I was a man because I thought everyone was looking at me, right? He said, once I turned 30 years old, I realized not really everyone's looking at me, you know? Started wearing less, started doing less, and people's reactions to me were still the same, you know? I started to do less. Then the old man goes, I realized last year I turned 60 that no one was looking at me at all, right? No one gives a fuck about you, honestly. And people don't like hearing that, but here's the truth. If you read a book called Evolutionary Psychology by Dr. David Buss, or even Richard Dawkins' Self-Esteem, not everyone is related to you. No one shares the same genes as you. The only reason why your family likes you is because you guys both share the same genes. You're 100% related to your mom, 50% related to your sister, 12% related to your cousin. You're not related to other people, so they're always going to have their best interest in everyone else. There's something called Hambleton's rule. You can look it up. This is what pretty much talks about this whole thing. No one cares about you more than, not even your family cares about you because you guys share the same genes, but besides that, no one really cares about you. Sorry, right? Unless they're giving you money and you guys have some kind of value exchange worked out. No, you're not related to everybody, so why would everyone have their best interest in you, right? Scenario, a house is burning down, right? Let's just turn this off real quick. But a house is burning down, and it's your mom in there, and it's some random guy named Paul, right? Who are you gonna save more? Are you gonna save your mom or are you gonna save Paul? I mean, let's put it aside. You still know your mom, and you guys have a relationship, and you know her. It's like your friend too. But most likely, you're gonna save your mom because, well, you actually share, I think 50% of the genes with your mom, I believe. I think it's 50%. I'm pretty sure it's 50% from your mom, 50% from your dad, right? So, mom, 50%. Paul, guess what? 0, right? Let's change it. Mom, 50%. Person on the bus, 0. Let's change it again. Mom, 50%. Guy in the club, security guard who doesn't care what the fuck you're talking about, 0. Let's look at it from a bigger scale. Mom, 50%. Government, 0. Right? And last but not least, mom, 50%. Mother Nature, 0. So scientifically speaking, no one gives a shit about you, right? No one cares if you went to college. No one cares if you didn't go to college. No one cares if you are struggling because you have a degree and you can't get a job. No one cares if you're making millions of dollars. No one gives a fuck because no one's related to you. You know what I mean? Only the people who are related to you care the most about you. And also people you do business with because they pay you, and your friends through reciprocal altruism. This is the only thing you should be worried about. Reciprocal altruism. If I give to you, are you gonna give back to me? You know? Friendships, I do you a favor, you do me a favor. The reason why they work is because you're gonna get something back, right? That's how friendships stick together. You know, when I'm in trouble, you help me. When you're in trouble, I help you, right? This is how it works. Same thing with money. Money is another form of reciprocal altruism. I pay you, you help me, you pay me back. That's it. So all this talk about what does this person think about me, what am I wearing, do I look good, all it's important, it doesn't mean anything. You know, like the old man said, I realized when I turned 60 years old, no one gave a fuck about me in the first place. I want you to internalize that. Be like the old man. No one cares about you, right? You know why? Sad but true. Not related. right? And this is actually, if you want to look it up and be more specific, I know I got some people who are really into this. It's called the Law of Inclusive Fitness. Look it up, right? So that's number one. Number two, I want to talk about the YouTube app. Now, everyone hates the YouTube app. Why? Because when you close it, the music stops playing, right? What's funny is the mind acts the same way as the YouTube app. You can't do more than one thing at a time. With the YouTube app, if you're playing music, you can only play music when it's open. If you try to change it from YouTube to Facebook, the music stops. Same thing with the brain. Multitasking has been proven not to work. Stop multitasking. If you're at school, study. You know, if you're at school and you're sitting in the front, pay attention to the lecture. If you're paying attention to the lecture and you're browsing through Facebook, your productivity is significantly reduced. Literally, like I think over 40%. So make sure you're doing one thing at a time, right? Think of your mind as the YouTube app, okay? I think this is a symbol for the YouTube app, right? The YouTube app and the human brain, they're both the same thing, right? Focus on one thing at a time. You close the music app, you close the YouTube app, the music stops. You know? Your brain, you try to focus on two things, not gonna work. Because like they always say, the man who tries to catch two rabbits catches what? Neither. Right? The last but not least thing I want to talk to you guys about is the canola oil Ferrari. If you got a Ferrari, what kind of gas do you have to put in it? Right? The premium gas. You can't put no bullshit gas in the Ferrari to get it to run. So it's the same thing.
Isn't this room for tonight? We will figure it out. Okay.
So back to the talk. So you can't put bullshit gas in your Ferrari. You need to put 93. No, not 93. You need to put it is 93. The most premium gas you can find. You know, you gotta give good gas in your Ferrari. But the thing is, we all know that, right? You got a car that costs $200,000. You should probably put some expensive gas in it. How much do you think our brains cost? Do you think your brain is worth $200,000 or do you think it's worth more? Your brain is the most valuable thing you can ever have. Your brain is your number one asset. But we put shitty gas in our brains all the time. We don't take care of our brains. Would you ever put cooking oil in your Ferrari to get it to run? No, you would put the best gas you could find. So how come when it comes to your brain, you put in Doritos? Huh? Why? How come you put in shit in your brain? Why are you running your brain on shitty fuel? It's important. People forget that we're dying every second. There's a scientific term for this called senescence. You ain't gonna be bright forever. When you're 20 years old and you feel like this, like how I feel right now, trust me. How the brain works. Have you ever met someone who hasn't died? Me neither. The way it works, age, cognitive function. It's like this. Let's say this is 60 years old. This is if you're lucky. Most people, by 30 years old, they're fucked. Because you know why? Shitty oil. You're using bad food, right? Cognitive MCI, what does that stand for? It's called mild cognitive impairment. We all go through it. Cells die. People die. The whole point is you wanna make sure that you slow down that pace. You wanna be 50 years old and have your brain functioning as if you were 20. But you don't know how many people I've met who are 30 years old and their brains function like they're 60. Make sure you understand that you're not putting shitty gas in your Ferrari, right? Your brain is more valuable than a Ferrari. I don't care what anyone says. So if you're not gonna put crappy gas, you're not gonna put cooking oil in your Ferrari, don't put crappy stuff in your brain.